So what we have here is a Turks and Caicos-inspired chowder using calamari steak instead of conch. And I'm gonna dive right in. I'm gonna make sure I get every bit of goodness on this spoon. Calamari, potato, tomato, cilantro, and all these yummy vegetables. And don't forget that broth. 1 second, please. Hey, it's Stephanie. Welcome to another episode of the Posh Pescatarian. I'm really excited about today's episode because we are taking a Caribbean-inspired trip to the beach, literally and figuratively. Now we're going to start by making a Turks and Caicos-inspired conch chowder. Except we're not going to use actual conch because conch has issues with sustainability. So instead, we're going to use calamari steaks. Trust me, it works perfectly. Now the other part that I mentioned was a trip to the beach. We're going to be able to enjoy our chowder at the beach thanks to something called the thermal cooker, and I'll show you what that looks like a little bit later. So we're in for a really fun day. Now, as usual, I'm not going to require you to pack a bag, but you are required to bring along your appetite and your sense of adventure. Okay, so if you were paying attention a little bit earlier, which I'm sure you were, you'll remember that I alluded to something called the thermal cooker. Well, here it is. My mom actually thinks it looks like a giant rice pot, and it kind of does from the outside, but it works much differently. So I'm going to open this up so I can quickly show you how it works. So this is the outside of the thermal cooker. This is what keeps the food actually warm. And then there's this inside portion that you take out. You put this on the stove, you put your food in here, you bring it to a boil, get it nice and hot, you put the lid on, and then you stick it back in here, and it cooks your food for you. Seriously, it cooks your food for you for about 2 to 3 hours. I've made several soups and several rice dishes using this thermal cooker since I've got it, and it cooks beautifully, which is why I'm choosing to use it for today's recipe. So let me show you how this works in action. Okay, I've got my inside pot of the thermal cooker on the stove, and I'm going to add just a little oil to the bottom of that. And we've got a busy day, so I did all our veg in advance. So in go the onion, garlic, celery. We're going to leave our scallion, and we're going to leave our potato and our cilantro for a little bit later. Let's just saute this just a little bit. Let's give this a try. Looks really good. I can see the tomatoes. Okay, that is really, really good. Okay, now that the chowder has come to a full boil, we're going to remove it from the stove and insert it into the outer pot. Just like this. And as quickly as you can, get that lid on and we're good to go. Let's head to the beach. So the wind has picked up a bit on the beach and I don't want to get sand in our chowder. So what I'm gonna do is set up in the back of my car. Okay, so we have our makeshift dining room in the back of my Jeep. So now let me show you what that chowder looks like. Oh my gosh. This is so good. The calamari is cooked perfectly. It's tender, it's succulent, it's had a really good chance to absorb all the other flavors. I can definitely taste a hint of lime. The coconut milk is making this rich and creamy and really yummy. The potatoes are cooked perfectly. The tomatoes are doing their thing. The only thing missing is a French baguette to soak up some of the sauce with. So I hope you've enjoyed our Caribbean-inspired adventure. For the Posh Pescatarian, I'm Stephanie. Bon appetit.